call this meeting to order, and my computer just went down, so hold on. Okay, it's back up. And we're going to Section 2, Approval of Agenda. 2.1, Changes to Agenda and Approval of Agenda. We do have some changes. Item 8.25, Comprehensive IT Threat Assessment Plan is changed to Comprehensive IT Risk Assessment Plan at the request of Eric Mitchell, Director, MIS and IT. Item 8.26, Spring 2021 Education Plan per DOE Order Number 2020-E0 or EO-07 was moved to Committee and Staff Reports. Item 7.4. This item is for information and does not require board action. Added item 8.33, appropriation of District 2 School Board Capital Outlay Funds to Fort Walton Beach High School for wrestling mats in the amount of $7,835. I need a motion to approve the.
Move it.
Thank you, Dr. White. And a second by Dr. Kelly. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Vancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. The motion carries 5-0. So we are, Section 3 was recognition of the U.S. Department of Defense Education Activity grant awarding $1,500,000 to the Okaloosa County School District. That was done Thursday. Section 4, we have no visitors. And Section 5, administrative personnel appointments. Mr. Chambers, 5.1, appointment of Assistant Principal 2, Wright Elementary School.
And good evening.
Good evening.
And Mr. Bryant and the board, tonight I bring before you Ms. Rosia Kahn. Ms. Kahn accepted her first teaching position in Okaloosa County in 1995 after receiving her elementary education degree from the University of West Florida. Shortly thereafter, the military transitioned her family to Okinawa, Japan. She immediately accepted a position at a Dodd school. Over the next few years, she taught various grade levels at several school districts around the world. Once her husband was close to retiring, they moved back to Okaloosa County in 2002, where she accepted a teaching position at Florosa Elementary. She enjoyed being a part of the Florosa family for 17 years. In 2013, Ms. Kahn accepted the Title I math position at Florosa and quickly created Florosa's Math Lab. Ms. Kahn's program was instrumental in moving Florosa to academic success. Throughout her career, Ms. Kahn has held many leadership roles. In 2018, Ms. Kahn earned her master's degree in educational leadership from the University of West Florida. In 2019, she was honored to become a school administrator at Bruner Middle School, where she helped lead the Spartans to success. She is looking forward to becoming an assistant principal at Wright Elementary to serve, if approved, to lead and to inspire the staff, students, and parents towards greatness. She will embrace the Wright family and will serve with her whole heart. Ms. Kahn is married to her high school sweetheart, Ben, and that was done in 1983. They are proud parents of 3 grown children, Kevin, Jason, and Angela. When Ms. Kahn stepped into her classroom for the first time 25 years ago, she knew she had stepped into her purpose. Being an educator, making a positive difference in the lives of our future leaders, and that is Ms. Rosia Kahn.
Thank you, Mr. Chambers. And with that, do I have a motion to approve the appointment of Assistant Principal, Wright Elementary?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, second, Dr. Kelly. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Vancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. The motion carries 5-0. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Superintendent Chambers, for having the confidence in me to recommend my appointment to these fabulous school board members. Thank you to the school board members for accepting this appointment. I appreciate all that you do and continue to do to support our families and our teachers. Thank you to Mr. Massey and my Bruner Spartan family. Mr. Massey, every day he modeled how to be an outstanding, proactive, organized, structured, and caring administrator. I appreciate all that I've learned, and I cherish the relationships that I've formed with every Bruner Spartan. Thank you to Dr. Choice for choosing me to become a part of Wright's team. I look forward to getting to know you and to work alongside you. To the rest of the Wright Dolphin family, I will care for you, I will protect you, I will work tirelessly to serve you with my whole heart. I'm looking forward to creating a long-lasting bond built on honesty, trust, and love. To my family, my kids, and my husband, always supporting me, I appreciate and love you. I appreciate your patience and your unwavering love that you've shown me over these years. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Now we'll move down to 5.2, appointment of Assistant Principal 2, Lewis School. Mr. Chambers.
Mr. Bryant and Board, I bring before you Miss Amy Pendleton. Miss Amy Pendleton is a proud product of Okaloosa Schools, having attended Valparaiso Elementary, Lewis Middle School, and Niceville High School. Miss Pendleton has been a classroom teacher for 18 years at Florida State School, Destin Middle School, and Plough Elementary School. She has worked with students as an ESE teacher, intensive reading teacher, and a 5th grade teacher. Her accomplishments include Reading Teacher of the Year, Teacher of the Year, and a 2020 Trademark Woman of Distinction. Mrs. Pendleton has earned a bachelor's in special education and a master's in educational leadership and management from the University of West Florida. In 2019, Ms. Pendleton earned a specialist degree in educational leadership from Florida State University. Ms. Pendleton has enjoyed the constant, unwavering support of her parents, Dexter and Debbie Early, and her 2 daughters. Marissa and Kinsley continually inspire her to set goals and achieve them. Ms. Pendleton is very excited to continue working with the administration, faculty, and staff at Lewis School.
All right. And with that, I need a motion to accept appointment of Assistant Principal 2, Lewis School. Do I have a motion, please?
I'd love to make that motion.
Dr. Kelly makes a motion. Do I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Ms. Gardner makes a second. Any discussion? Hear none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Ivanchek, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. The motion carries 5-0. Congratulations.
Good evening. I'd like to thank Mr. Chambers and the board for this vote. I really appreciate the opportunity to impact the students of Okaloosa County. It's very much near and dear to my heart, being educated here too as well. I'd also like to thank my mentors, literacy coaches, former administration, current administration, who've taken the time to really mentor and work with me, help me work on different things I needed to work on, strengthen my skills. I really appreciate that. My family has been a really strong support for me. I'd like to thank my parents and my girls for always being there. And last but not least, the faculty and staff of Lewis School, I've been there for a year and a half now. I'm really excited to continue working with them. It is a very unique school, big hearts, teachers doing some amazing work. So thank you for this opportunity. I will take it very seriously. Thank you.
Congratulations again.
Congratulations.
All right. Congratulations again. Okay, so we're gonna move on down.
Can I say, make a quick statement?
Yes, Dr. Kelly.
So I'd just like to say that I've had occasion.
Scare me.
Excuse me to start with.
Sound effect.
Something we have right out here. Wow. Okay. So I was just going to say that I had the privilege of working with Ms. Khan at Florosa and with Amy Pendleton, Miss Pendleton at Destin Middle School, and we couldn't have chosen better. Both of those are really delightful to work with. And just wanted to recognize another new administrator with us this evening, Miss Christine Cruikshank, who's the new principal at Destin High School. So welcome, Miss Cruikshank.
All right, so we're going to move to Section 6, Public Comment. 6.1, members of the public desiring to address the school board, Form MIS 5241, public input and/or discussion of agenda items. I do not have any blue cards, so I assume that there's nobody waiting in the waiting room. And at this time, we're going to recess the meeting and go into public hearing. And if y'all would please go down to Section 17. And we do have a couple items. So 17.1 is the public hearing for adoption of a revised job description for Specialist Equity Coordinator, presented by Dr. Lee Hale, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, and recommended by the Superintendent for approval. Is there anybody here from the public that would wish to address this item? Hearing none, I need a motion to approve this, approve 17.1.
I'll move.
Ms. Gardner makes the motion. Do I have a second, please?
Second.
Second, Dr. White. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Savanchek, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. The motion carries 5-0. 17.2, public hearing for adoption of a revised job description for Chief Officer Finance, presented by Dr. Lee Hale, Assistant Superintendent, Human Resources, and recommended by the Superintendent for approval. Is there anybody from the public that would like to address this particular item? Hearing none, I need a motion to adopt.
I'll move.
Dr. Kelly makes a motion. Do I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Second, Ms. Gardner. Any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Savanchek, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. The motion carries 5-0. So we're going to go out of public hearing and back into our regular school board meeting. So that means we're let me get all the way back up there. Sorry about that. So we're at Section 7, was committee and staff reports for the workshop only. We'll move down to Section 8. 8.1 is approval of the consent agenda. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda, please.
I'll move.
Ms. Savanchek makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Dr. Kelly makes a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Evancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion carries 5-0. So now we'll go all the way down to Section 9. Superintendent's Human Resource Recommendations, 9.1 and 9.2 are informational only. So we'll go down to 9.3, Revised Substitute and Temporary Employee Schedule, fiscal year 2020 through 2021. I need a motion to approve.
Move it.
Dr. White makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second, Ms. Evancheck. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Evancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion carries 5-0. 9.4, request to double fill the position of Chief Officer Finance. I need a motion to approve, please.
I'll move.
Ms. Evancheck makes the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second, Ms. Gardner. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Evancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion carries 5-0. 9.5, requests for 12-month instructional unit allocation, Choctawhatchee High School. I need a motion to approve, please.
Move it.
Dr. White makes the motion. Do I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Second, Dr. Kelly. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Evancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion carries 5-0. 9.6, cleared certification requirements and issuance of contracts for the 2020-2021 school year. I need a motion to approve.
I move.
Ms. Gardner makes a motion. Do I have a second, please?
I'll second it.
Second, Ms. Evancheck. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Evancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion carries 5-0. 9.7, out-of-field report for the 2021 school year. I need a motion to approve.
I'll move.
Dr. Kelly makes the motion. Do I have a second, please?
Second.
Second, Dr. White. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Evancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion carries 5-0. 9.8, employment separations. I need a motion to approve.
I'll move.
Ms. Gardner makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second, Ms. Evancheck. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Evancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion carries 5-0. 9.9, personnel recommendations. I need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Dr. Kelly makes a motion. Do I have a second, please?
I'll
Second.
second. Oh, go ahead.
Is that Ms. Gardner?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Gardner, I'll give it to you. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Evancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion carries 5-0. 9.10, employee transfers. I need a motion to approve.
I'll move.
Motion by Dr. Kelly. Do I have a second, please?
I'll second it.
Second, Ms. Evancheck. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Evancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion carries 5-0. 9.11, request approval of separation agreement regarding Nicole Rickman. I need a motion to approve.
I'll move.
Ms. Gardner makes a motion. Do I have a second, please?
Second.
Second, Dr. White. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Evancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion carries 5-0. 9.12, reinstatement reimbursement of sick leave due to line of duty illness, injury, medical examination. I need a motion to approve.
Move it.
Dr. White makes a motion. Do I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Second, Dr. Kelly. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Evancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion carries 5-0. 9.13, leave without pay. I need a motion to approve.
I'll move.
Who is?
I'm
Ms.
sorry.
Gardner? Okay, Ms. Gardner makes a motion. Do I have a second, please?
I'll second it.
Second, Ms. Evancheck. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Evancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion carries 5-0. So now we're at Section 10. There was nothing moved to the consent agenda. So Section 11, 11.1. And Dr. Kelly, we get to hear your first report tonight.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I'm excited to share, and I thought it would be appropriate just to remind everyone that this board position is a board liaison position, and it exists only because the actual contract with Jacobs is between the TPM, the Total Program Management Construction Company, which is Jacobs, and the school board. So it's appropriate, out of complete transparency and good business working practice, for a board member to sit in on their group meetings and to be able to report out publicly what transpired at those meetings and what tasks were completed and were still ongoing in those meetings. So with that in mind, let me present the tasks that were discussed at our very lengthy meeting this morning. So task order number 1 was Niceville High School's roofing project, and that actually was 3 buildings that were roofed, and those have been completed with no issues. Task order number 2 is the district-wide security upgrade project. Phase 1A, you might say, was the first 6 schools, all 4 high schools and the 2 K-12s. That has been completed. Phase 1B is completed, minus a few schools who still have work remaining on their fences and primarily their gates. Phase 2 is the next group of schools, which will come in January, and then Phase 3 of that task order would be any remaining schools. Task order 3 has been complete, so it falls off the list now. That was Florosa's driveway construction. Everything's been completed there and in good working order. Task order 4 is Baker's kitchen renovation, which will be inspected this week and can be considered complete, so the kiddos can start eating in the new cafeteria in the new year. Task order 5 was the stadium at Choctaw, and that has been completed with the exception of a few aesthetics, which will be completed here shortly. Task order 6, Pryor Middle School's kitchen renovation, and that is only stalled momentarily, waiting on a design protocol. Task order 7 was Longwood's corridor construction and site fencing. It started out as creating that internal corridor, which has been completely completed, and they're very happy with that. And they are finishing right now the site fencing. Task order 8 is Kenwood's elementary school kitchen, dining room, and roof replacement. And that is done, although it was a little more complicated than originally expected. Task order 9, repairs to the stadium at Crestview High School. That initial phase was just to make the press box safe, but like many of our old buildings, once they got in there, more was needed to be done than anticipated, so that initial stage is done, and they are finishing up with the others, waiting on the final construction plans from the engineers on that to finish up. Task order 10 is the Bay Area Emergency Roof, that's fondly known as Rita's project, Rita's roof that was blown off in the hurricane. And then task order 11 are the roofs at Crestview, Mary Esther, and Edge, and we are approving that GMP tonight, so that can move forward after this evening's meeting. So that is all we have.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for the in-depth report. And school board members, I know we were forwarded an email from Dr. Kelly today, so she has it broke
You
down
have-
in an email.
Yes, you have this agenda.
Yes. So we'll move down to 11.2, authorization for professional services agreement from Faithful and Gould for price validation for program number 6, task order number 2, district-wide school security upgrade project, phase 2. I need a motion to approve.
I'll
Move it.
move.
Got you, Ms. Vancheck, and Dr. White, you get second?
Fine, thank you.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Vancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. The motion carries 5-0. 11.3, owner change orders 001 and 006, transferring balance of unused funds from program number 6, task order number 7, Longwood Elementary School corridor construction and site fencing, to program number 6, task order number 2, district-wide security upgrades. I need a motion to approve.
I move.
Ms. Gardner makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Dr. White. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Vancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. The motion carries 5-0. 11.4 TPM Program Number 6, Task Order Number 11, Pre-GMP Roofing Projects. I need a motion to approve.
I'll move.
Ms. Vancheck makes a motion. Do I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Second, Ms. Gardner. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Vancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion carries 5-0. 11.5 TPM Program Number 6, Task Order Number 2, Pre-GMP District-Wide School Security Upgrade Project Phase 3, Final Phase. I need a motion to approve, please.
I move.
Ms. Gardner makes a motion. Do I have a second, please?
I'll second it.
Second, Ms. Vancheck. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Vancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion carries 5-0. So now we're at Section 12, Information Technology Seat Management Contract, and we do have a few items to vote on here tonight. So 12.1 is CACI Task Order Number 2-173 for security camera repair at Fort Walton Beach High School. I need a motion to approve, please.
I'll move.
Ms. Gardner makes a motion. Do I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Dr. Kelly makes a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Vancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion carries 5-0. 12.2 CACI Task Order Number 2-179 for security camera repairs at Bob Sykes. I need a motion to approve, please.
move.
Dr. Kelly makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second, Ms. Vancheck. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Vancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion carries 5-0. 12.3 CACI Task Order Number 2-180 for security camera repairs at Pryor Middle School. I need a motion to approve, please.
I'll move it.
Dr. Kelly makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Dr. White. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Vancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion carries 5-0. So now we're to Section 13, Attorney's Business. Mr. McInnes.
No report this evening.
Thank you, sir. And Section 14, we do have out-of-state field trip request, and 14.2 is correspondent request and other matters. So, Mr. Chambers, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. Bryant, Board. As you know, on Thursday, we discussed a lot of items, and I appreciate the opportunity to share in depth the spring education plan. And as we know, that's going to take a lot of effort, and it's effort that we'll definitely be able to put forth and do a very good job with. But I thought it was important that we go thoroughly through that plan. Also on Thursday, we talked a little bit about the COVID numbers and some of the things that we are doing. And then we also discussed the half-cent plan as well. And at the next board meeting, we will bring forward the Citizens Oversight Group for the board, for board approval. And I do want to say, before I get to one exciting part, and I'll be brief again because I know Dr. Kelly might have a few words, is just want to congratulate Niceville High School football on an outstanding season. And Ms. Vancheck, looking forward to Baker School on Thursday night, hopefully bringing home a state title. And I have no doubt you might have some additional words on that as well. I do want to say I'm excited to share this information. As you know, ESC is an area that we've put a lot of time, energy in, and our students this year took part in a talent show. And this talent show was hosted by our ESC department, and there were several categories that the students competed in, so to speak. So I'm just going to share a little bit about this event. And I'm going to read it, if you don't mind. The Exceptional Student Education and Student Services Department recently hosted the inaugural Exceptionally Talented Ability Show for the student population they serve. The contest was facilitated by the ESC department. Students submitted videos of themselves highlighting their talents in various categories. The videos were then shown on the ESC department's Facebook page. The video submission with the most likes won the category. The winners are as follows. In the category of athletic skills, Michael Barnett, a 5th grade student from Antioch Elementary. He received first place for his video submission showcasing his Taekwondo skills. In the musical performance category, Ashton Applin, a senior at Silver Sands, received first place for his video submission showcasing his performance that featured the song Back for Good by Gary Barlow. In the art category, Markel Foreman, a sophomore at Silver Sands, received first place for his video submission showcasing his artistic rendition of Superman. And we just want to congratulate all these winners, and I'm so proud that Dr. Willis Doxey and the ESE department started this this year, showcasing the talents of our ESE students. And if you had the opportunity to see any of this, we have some great talent across the board, so just very proud and wanted to share that. So thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Chambers?
That is it, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. So now we're going to go to board members' announcements and requests for information, and we do have an action item, item 15.1, designation of school board member to serve as the board's trustee to the Florida School Board Insurance Trust. And I need a...
I think you're expecting a nomination.
Yes, sir.
Brian.
Yes, sir.
So made.
Thank you, sir. So we do have Dr. White's nominating me. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, Ms. Gardner. Any discussion? Okay, Ms. Gardner, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Evancheck, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dr. White, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. The motion carries 5-0. And 15.2, board members' announcements and requests for information. And Dr. White, I'll start with you tonight, sir.
Well, and I'll have a very brief announcement because I know that some of the others may have some other announcements that they'd like to make. And my announcement's very simple but very heartfelt, and that's to wish everyone a Merry Christmas as we approach that season. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, sir. And Dr. Kelly.
Well, you mentioned Niceville, so I do have to just say that even though they didn't win that important game, they could have won at any nanosecond along that game because it was truly back and forth the whole time. And if that one field goal had hit the bar and bounced the other direction instead of over, we would be there today. But just want to say to those players, those coaches, and the whole nation of Eagles out there, what a fine display of sportsmanship by those young men on the field and all of their supporting teams as well. We sometimes forget the band and the cheer and the color guard, winter guard, but those are important as well. They support our players, and I think it was a fine example of sportsmanship that they showed. They certainly represented their community well, so congratulations to them for that. And then I'll just congratulate again our elementary principal of the year, Amy Clue, and her AP, Susan Gearing, for being the elementary AP of the year, and to Dexter Day, our secondary principal of the year, and Marshall, or Pamela, whichever she's going by in the day, Hickson Wells as the secondary AP of the year. And I just wanted to go back and mention, we always at our workshop look at the donations to our schools, but I just wanted to thank all the donors, the businesses who continue to donate to our schools and to our various teams, because even during the COVID economic downturn, they continue to turn out checks and other means of support to our teams and to our schools. So thank you to all businesses who are donating continuously to our efforts in our community schools. And then, since y'all know I like the numbers, after tonight we have 4 school days until our winter break and 10 days until Christmas. So if you haven't wrapped up everything you need under that tree, you need to get on it. So anyway, I echo Dr. White's sentiments to wish everyone a very joyous and peaceful Merry Christmas.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Kelly. Ms. Evancheck.
Okay. Well, I too am very proud of those Eagles and not only what they did athletically, but the character that those students and everyone showed at that game. And, you know, they didn't lose. The score didn't go their way, but what a winning season. And, you know, sometimes people think we might emphasize sports too much, but in this year, probably the best distraction we could have had was to have some pride in schools and have students and everybody in communities behind that. So for at least a little bit, they helped us forget that we have those other struggles. However, I am very proud that we do have one team left,
Yeah.
and I'm honored to be the school board member representing Baker, who will be traveling this Thursday. I think the send-off is early Thursday morning at the school, sending them down I-10. I mentioned it on Thursday, but if others don't know, this year the Florida High School Athletic Association worked it out so that the students could do their state championship in Tallahassee at Doak Campbell Stadium, which is the home of the Florida State University Seminoles. Not only is that an advantage for us because we tend to have to go a lot farther down the road when we make it to this level, but I think it's such a wonderful opportunity to have high school students get to play in that kind of venue and to have that game in that. So we are cheering on the Baker Gators coming Thursday. They will play at night at 7 Eastern time, so that will start at 6 o'clock our time. There are some ways you can see it live streamed. I believe it's going to cost you a little bit, but worth it to get to do that. If you do want to take the trip down I-10 to visit with them, you can buy your tickets online. That's the only way you can get a ticket. Also, there are some pretty strict rules going into Doak Campbell Stadium, so make sure that you see those so you won't be turned away. But again, I know Dr. Kelly and we cheered it on a little bit Thursday morning, and we're very proud of the students and, of course, the coach and the administration up there at Baker. They work really hard. I gave some statistics that this senior class, 51-4 record in the 4 years that they've been at that school as far as the high school. And just they've been there before, so they're used to being in playoffs. So I hope everybody in our community will now get behind the Gators and cheer them on. And with good luck and good talent, we're going to bring home a state championship Thursday night. Also, just want to wish everybody a happy holiday season, to be safe. It's nice to get out there and enjoy it. I'm thinking about those teachers just trying to hold the lid on this week and keep the distraction going to keep those, especially those little ones, entertained and taught best they can till we can get out on Friday afternoon. So everybody, best of holidays to you.
Thank you, Ms. Vancheck. Ms. Gardner?
Well, I just want to echo what Dr. Kelly said about our Eagles. They're winners to us, and what an amazing job they did in the community that wrapped around and supported our Eagles. And no matter the outturn, they're still winners to us, and we're very, very proud. And again, Ms. Vancheck, we're looking forward to your report when we get back because I have every bit of confidence they're going to bring another championship back to Okaloosa County.
Great, thank you.
And just again, Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year, because we will see everybody back in 2021. And hang in there, teachers. I've talked to a couple of dear friends, and they're going 4 more days. And in their book, that might as well be 40 years. But, again, great end to 2021 with our football teams, and looking forward to 2021.
Thank you, Ms. Gardner. And I would like to thank the Honorable Governor Ron DeSantis for coming to visit Niceville High School on Friday night for the football game. It was awesome to see him come out and support not only Niceville, but the entire state of Florida, in my opinion. And I wasn't there, but did see many pictures with Governor DeSantis making his way around the crowd, and also we are very thankful that he did come and visit Friday night. I'd also like to echo the congratulations to Niceville High School, and I'm looking forward to the Baker game. Actually, I'm going to be driving over there with my son. I told Miss Vancheck, because she said she wasn't going to be able to go, I was going to get like a cardboard cutout of her so we can have her cheering and all that, and I'll make sure to send her live updates and all that. But
Please.
really
Please
excited.
keep us posted. Yes.
Really excited about that. But one thing that was mentioned was how, as a whole, as a community, we've come together, and I was very pleased to see up in Crestview, if you ever go to Highway 85 and 90, Crestview High School put up a nice little banner up there that wished Niceville and Baker all much success. And so that just shows you the community support, not just for our home schools, but for the entire county. And also, I would like to take a moment just to recognize some of our behind-the-scene heroes. If you follow me on Facebook, you saw that I highlighted a mechanic in our Transportation North Department, Jason Baggett. And, he's a very humble person, and, it's always a great visit when I get to go into the bus barn and visit with all of our employees there. And, you think about everything that's going on this year. Our bus fleets that have really been hit hard. But with everything that's going on, we have a dedicated line of mechanics and people behind the scenes that are keeping those buses going. And in some cases, they're even driving buses. So I would just like to take this moment to thank all of our transportation employees for all that they do. I know it's been really a struggle this year, but we're very proud of what you do. And you see those buses going down the road, there's somebody behind there that's one driving it, somebody's had to fix it, somebody's had to fill it up with gas, so to get the kids to and from school safely. So, all right, and I also would like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season. And we'll move down to section 16 is public comment. 16.1, members of the public desiring to address the school board, Form MIS 5241. And this is the 2-minute version. Do we have anybody, Jan? Okay. So with that, Dr. Hale, do you have anything? Ms. Appleberg? Let's see, Sheila, anything? And Mr. Horton. All right, this meeting's adjourned.